Hey people, Infantry 3v3, Khatrin Purification Plant, blue team. Exterminatus is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. We got some Black Legion. Alongside, ShaFex is a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very strong disruption and support, the Freebooters DLC. And rounding off this team is leomer with a Force Commander, very good offense, fighting in melee, can also tank, disrupt and support. Red team, Centzontotochtin with another Chaos Sorcerer, looks like it's the Thousand Suns Elite Scheme recolored. Alongside some Imperial Guard, we got Seraf with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fighting in melee, begins with a refractor shield. And rounding off the teams, Veldi with a Lord General, fighting in ranged combat, begins with a retinue of Stormtroopers, really strong defense and support, can also add to the retinue the Lord General with a bionic arm there, so he has that one-handed bolter. On the eastern side against the Sorcerer, western side is Sorcerer versus Force Commander. Leomer's scouts get hit with the Doom Bolt, so at least I hope it's leomer. That might be an uppercase I. My internet connection isn't working at the moment, so I can't check the player profiles. In the mid, Warboss has found some guardsmen to squish. Lord Commissar in amongst the sluggers. Also try and whittle them down rather than tie up the shooter boys, I guess. Didn't seem like it worked out too great. Slugs are still on the warpath. Need to run away soon though. Both the guardsman squads are off the field. Sluggers might be down to a single model. They stayed there a little bit too long, trying to get those kills. Commissar now going after the shooters. The Warboss can decap the VP perhaps. East side, lots of dead stuff. More Doom Bolts flying in. Sorcerer in amongst double guardsmen. There's a Sentinel though, and the Lord General himself. Looks like the guardsman will hold that side. West side though, CSM almost dropping a model to the Force Commander's Chainsword, goes after the Sorcerer now. Warboss did not push through the mid, comes to the west side to help out. Shotgun scouts now in play for leomer. Doom Bolts is dodged mostly. And they're going to clean up here. Blue team will take the west side, red team take the east side, and the Sorcerer fell here. That's Exterminatus. Double CSM. Centzontotochtin dropped their heretics, replaces them. They were most likely default heretics though, so not a huge loss. Does have some havocs up. Seraf with some Khatrin devils. Did not get a sentinel. We have a pain boy up here for ShaFex. West has turned blue. They have the double cap. The Warboss going to assist the east side. Maybe get a revive as well. They should be able to force off Veldi here. Trying to cap the wreck point and gets it. Now needs to run. There is the run. We have aspiring champion heretics for Exterminatus. Warboss goes for the revive. That might level him to 2. I'm always wrong though when I say that, and it never does. Let's see if it does this time. Khatrin's trying to dodge that battle cry. Well played. Kept them under control. Did not level the Warboss, of course not. Havoc's pushing up a bit. Still blue on the west side. We have the power sword in play for the Lord Commissar. That lead by example. 500 to 458. Doom Bolts. Oh, if those Khatrin didn't disrupt those guys, that would have hit quite nicely. They used their grenade launcher to disrupt them from long range there. Khatrin's getting into melee with tactical marines. They're getting very low. Khatrin have power melee weapons, so that it's very tempting to try and get them in on tactical marines, but they were wiped out there. Stayed in play way too long. Big loss for Seraf. Replaces the Khatrin now. Warboss stomping around. No war gear for that guy. Did level to 2 eventually. Got any more levels on these fellas? Force Commander's got Artificer armor. Kicking off in the mid, is it? Nope. Just a Sentinel decapping. Sorcerer persuaded to leave. Not sure what he was up to. Maybe decapping the VP was the plan. Lord Commissar is going to get a revival from the Lord General, and they have the medical sergeant in there, can give out medical packs. Doom Bolts from long range. Medical pack has healed those guys though. This could be a big 2v2 fight here. Are the Khatrin, the second Khatrin's in play? I don't see them. Not sure where they are. They're making their way up now. See them on the right of your screen. Painboy heal in on the sluggers there, gives them a heal over time. I think they could have stayed in play a little bit longer there with the heal over time on them. They were getting flanked somewhat by this chaos stuff. Heretics in amongst those shooters. They need to run. Doom Blast actually missed there. The model that was closest died just before they hit the Doom Blast. The Assault Squad jumping in from leomer. Shotgun blast from the Khatrins. Well timed. Gets them into big trouble. Heretics are there. They might drop a model. Almost half hit points, and they do get away clean. Tactical Marines here going to get caught. They arrived a bit too late, fellas. Devastator's in play to maybe support them. Going to drop a model though, I think. Wow, pretty lucky not to. Pretty lucky not to there. Keeping the pressure up. Oh, the red team, a little bit of momentum here. Have the Western VP. Looking for the power now. They have the Noise Marines to bash with that Sonic Blaster. Khatrins are good for assisting power bashes with a disruption like that. Orks in the mid looking for a flank. Not sure if they're going to be able to get to the power here. It's a good Doom Pulse on those Devastators. Big chunk of damage. Orks, can they mop this up here? Sluggers have their burners. Shooter boys with their knob leader there. These guys are regular old shooter boys. Sorcerer getting a revive on the Lord Commissar. Gets the level. Guardsmen fleeing. Havocs are there to support. And the Noise Marines are still in play. Assault Squad might jump them though. Warboss could go after them too. Looks like he's going after the Khatrins. There's that cacophony. Need to use it to retreat, I think, fellas. You've got getting attacked from all sides here. Lord Commissar still trying to help out. Now runs. And everything runs. Blue team are going to take back the west side. I think it was worth trying to push onto the power there. I think it was the right call. And they got out okay. Going to drop the Western VP, but that happens in 3v3s. You're not going to keep the VP the whole game. Double CSM with Eternal War here. Heretics have found the heavy weapon squad feathers. Sentinel falls. They can get onto the power now. Might get the full bash there too. Lord the General off the field is in tier 2. Blood Crusher on the way for Centzontotochtin. Looks like leomer is the last player to go tier 2. Tactical Marines just hanging out after capping the point. 393 to 450. Maybe get a full bash. 2 gens down. They are taking lasgun shots though, the Heretics. Taking less range damage because they're counted as in close combat. Heavy Bolter sets up. They got all the gens at least, and there's the retreat. Could have maybe just backed off that squad there, kept something in play a little bit to delay things. Where's the Sorcerer? There he is. No war gear on this fella. Got some Tzeentchian worship on the west side. Infiltrating that stuff. 2v1 against Seraf, kind of. Force Commander's gone the other side. There's that battle cry. It's already gone off. There's a battle cry attack, but he got into too much trouble too quickly. Blood Crusher in play now. Gonna go after the Devastators. This thing is a demon with vehicle armor. Heavy melee damage, good DPS, but relatively fragile in the face of proper anti-vehicle weapons. But get him out early, you can do a lot of trouble. And force your opponent to get some hard anti-vehicle, which they might not want to get. Havocs might be in trouble here. Sluggers now have their knob leader in tier 2. That guy has a power melee chopper. Heretics might wipe. Are they far enough away? They might be far enough away. Pain Boy, maybe. Oh, Pain Boy doesn't get a hit. They do get away. On the power now. Here comes Seraf to try and stop this bash. Stormtroopers on the field. And a Chimera on the field. Looks like it's already harassing the power actually. Got a bash. Well done, Veldi. It's got some melter guns up. Got the full bash and a decap. Pretty well done. Those guys going double Mark of Tzeentch, which is a mistake. Oh, they've got Plague Marines on the way. I was going to say, how about some anti-vehicle fellas? They've got Plague Marines already. All 2 of them queued up there. Should be able to push back pretty well against Veldi then. Force Commander with a Thunder Hammer. Not much melee on the field though. I guess the Heretics are melee. Okay, Plague Marine starting to get shots in on the Chimera. That snaring missile launcher you see there. Plasma guns up on the guards, and they should be able to trade relatively well with these CSM. Some suppression now. Plague Marines don't care too much about suppression. They still fire at the same rate, and they move relatively quickly. I mean, they're already quite slow, but they're not slowed down as much by suppression as these Chaos Space Marines, for example. A little bit sloppy there in that approach. Exterminatus just kind of went head on into a heavy bolter. We'll see how they do. Need to get that Chimera down. Much easier said than done though when you've got that repair support. Double Plague Marines might be able to get it done, especially with some Sorcerer teleporting shenanigans. Can Vestments of the Warp teleporting behind and then use Warp Global to get the Plague Marines in behind the Chimera for some rear armor hits. Trying to take back their node here. Sorcerer's in amongst the heavy bolter. But lots of plasma guns gets him to leave. Plague Marines too far back to get shots in here on the Chimera. Heretics giving chase. Just going to take losses as they do so they back off. Blue team have that Western VP las cannon in play for leomer to help combat this Blood Crusher. Getting some worship repairs in base there. Demons benefit greatly from worship. We have Marco Zinc CSM also for Centzontotochtin. Then Inferno DPS, great versus heavy infantry. Pretty good versus heroes too. There's a jump. Can't really mess with Assault Marines in melee though. Swamp them up for the sluggers. Can they get around these havocs? Might see a grenade coming here from the stormtroopers. Warboss just got melted. Force Commander teleports in. Smacks that guy to death immediately. Sluggers now have free reign. Oh, maybe not. Cacophony stops that. Might be a full retreat here though from the red team. Good little push from blue. Warboss should be able to get revived by the Force Commander once he's mopped this up. Can they kill the Sorcerer? Sluggers can turn and kill him surely. No! They did not target him. They went after the Catechins. Lucky to get away there, the Sorcerer. Can they kill the Catechins though? Here comes a Blood Crusher. Not much here to threaten it. Those guys don't have their Melter Bomb either. Meanwhile, east side. What crap, says Exterminatus. Not sure what happened. Looks like the Plague Marines got wrecked by something. Chimera is still around. I guess they're getting frustrated by the classic Guardsman and Chimera combo. It's hard to chop through those numbers when they're reinforcing 3 at a time. Lord Commissar has a Xenos Power Claw. Maybe the Warboss wants it back. That's why he's so pissed. He's got no war gear, this fella. Just a giant orky pirate cutlass. Blue team have taken the west side back. Again on the power is Veldi. 343 to 396. Sorcerer being annoying. Could use warp right here to get the Plague Marine on the Chimera. It's not being used though. Pretty sure they have enough radio. Definitely have enough. Tank Buster Barrage. Just clipped the Chimera, but it got it into trouble and down it goes. Nicely done by ShaFex. Exterminatus should be able to roll through the east side now, I think. I wonder if they'll get another Chimera Veldi. So Sentinel down and Chimera down on that side. I don't think Exterminatus has dropped a unit yet. I don't think. Have had their power harassed though. 343 to 370. Blast Master Noids Marines here. Always a good choice on the contested VP in a 3v3. Lord Commissar back to his feet. Level 4 Sorcerer has got a bunch of revives. Uh-oh, Plasma Cannon winding up. Good hit on the Stormtroopers, kills one of them. And they get the hell out of there. East side now. Looks like they couldn't quite break through quickly. But they're still on it. Sorcerer can teleport in and tie up the heavy bolter. There we go. Gets in there. Waited for them to set up, which is the right way to do it, so they have to take time to tear up their weapon again. Trying to focus down the Lord General, I think, here. Nope, they're shooting at those guardsmen. Sorcerer is dealt with. And there's a Manticore strike from Seraf, forcing a full retreat from Centzontotochtin. No, sorry, from Exterminatus. Centzontotochtin is getting a land raid of Phobos. Cool. The first one I've seen since they got the change in 296 to become a demon unit. Down goes the Blood Crusher. I think it did well though for Centzon. 343 to 363. Plasma Cannon hits the pipe real good. Very close on VPs. ShaFex in tier 3 with flash kits on the way. Exterminatus goes tier 3 in decent time. At least wasn't the last player. Seraf and Veldi both in tier 3, but they've got very small armies. Exterminatus going tier 3 with a large army. Warboss is not going to be able to get close here. Scouts trying to something. They have shotguns, they have grenade. Looks like it's going to be a grenade throw. But not on the Havocs. It was on the Blastmaster Noise Marines. Meanwhile, a Leman Rust dropped in by Veldi. That's what you do when you go tier 3. Drop a tank in the enemy's face. Plague Marines are on it though. They are on it. And there's a Dark Flames too. The CSM need to be very careful. Executioner is in for the Leman Rust, but it's getting very low. I think they can finish it off here. Tank Buster Barrage finishes it off. Out of nowhere, down goes the Leman Rust, very quickly dealt with, and it was upgraded too, so that's quite painful for Veldi. 2, they say. Down to double guardsman and a heavy weapon squad. Bare bones there for Veldi. Leman Rust on the way now for Seraf, and here is the Land Raider Phobos. Anti-vehicle Land Raider with las cannons on the side sponsors, spinning heavy bolter on top, and a storm bolter on top too. There's the Dirge Caster, and these days it apparently counts as a demonic unit, so you can worship that thing and get health regen, which is cool. You get energy regen, but I don't think it actually uses the energy it has. It doesn't use it for the Dirge Caster, I don't think. Is that for the Emperor? On those tacks? Oh, it's just the boss bolt. From the Warboss. He's got heavy armor too. Blue team trying to get through onto Red's natural here. Lord Commissar in amongst the flash kits. Got their git finders and they found a git alright. He's chopping them up with that Xenos Power Claw. Sluggers going after the Manticore. Manticore does have vehicle armor, but a very small amount of it, as you can see. Those guys might be able to get this done here. Ouch. Leman Rust. Big shot at those sluggers there. Sluggers are still going after it. I don't think they're going to get away, and they didn't get the Leman Rust. They didn't get the Manticore either. Are they going to make it? There's a creeping barrage. Oh, they didn't quite make it. They got so close. Manticore striking their retreat path. Big fight here. Blue team pushed pretty hard for this. I don't think they're going to get a decap. I mean, they kept the red team off the other stuff at least, and now they're putting pressure on that Leman Rust. Can they get to the Manticore, those double Plague Marines? Right there. No repairs for Leman Rust. Oh, there we go. How quickly that Manticore was repaired up. Good pressure from Exterminatus. Still in play too. Another shot on the Leman Rust. Grenade though for the CSM. Didn't quite retreat in time to negate the knockback and stuff, but they get away. Meanwhile, 304 to 339 on the VP's west side. Warboss is there. The Storm Marines jumping in. They do not have their Melter Bomb. Is there much here to threaten it? There is a las cannon to threaten the Warboss. That was a bunker, I believe, trying to come in there, but I believe the Phobos like crushed its destination, so it never came in. 290 to 339 on the VPs. Go mid together, says Veldi. I'm gonna cap, says Seraf. Looks like they're trying to get through the mid. Warboss has his own Power Claw. 95 heavy melee DPS compared to 85 for this guy. This is like basic power fist damage for the Xenos Power Claw. The Warboss's one is a bit more painful. Lots of DACA for the Commissar. Might not get away actually. Looks like a Manticore Strike is coming in. Did get away. And Veldi continues. What is this though? It's a drop pod from leomer with Tactical Marines. Not sure what their plan is, guys. Those fellas have plasma guns. What are you doing? Knob squad on the field for ShaFex and leomer with a Land Raider Redeemer on the way. Doom bolts. Made them think again. Nice little flank attempt from Exterminatus, who has Chaos Terminators on the field. They are looking strong here in Tier 3. Big old retreat. Blue team can get onto the VP now. Assault squad still don't have a melter. Las Cannon trying to move up, I think. Oh, Doom bolts. A little bit of a Doom bolt tickle. And now subjugates the Knob squad. Which is really bad news for those Devastators. I think they're going to get wiped. Yep, they got wiped. So use a Knob squad against your enemy. Rocket run. Oh, it's a really good hit on Exterminatus' stuff. They need to retreat. Did they live? I think one of the CSM wiped there. Decent use of a nuke to wipe a high level CSM squad. Maybe it would have been better to stop a cat though. 220 to 339. Double Plague Marines. And autocannon is enough to get rid of that Leman Russ. Leman Russ is dropping like flies here. Well, two of them have blown up a bit. I hear a rocks. Was it there? Was it there going after the Land Raider maybe? Maybe. Blue team taking back the west side. Manticore still alive. Lord Commissar is going to get revived. Lord General level 6 with the stabilizers. Some health regen. These Terminators getting very low. See that demoralization on kill there that the Terminators have. Debuffing damage output and increasing the damage they take for each stack. Might need to teleport out, fellas. Maybe they already teleported. There's the warp. Exterminatus using it to save those Terminators. And they didn't even drop a model, which is good because they're 50 power each to reinforce. 199 to 332. Warboss disrupted by his own tank buses there. Could be a big Manticore strike on the Land Raider Redeemer now. Redeemer allows you to reinforce and retreat back to it. It's a fantastic support vehicle. The Warboss falls over. Manticore hits a few Orks. Didn't really hit the Land Raider Redeemer though. Where is the Phobos? There it is. The Assault Squad now have a Melter Bomb, but they've been subjugated. They could jump after the Redeemer and use their Melter. If they haven't, I don't have the energy now. Just chainsawed some stuff up then. 199 to 309. Red team open up a little bit of a VP lead. Blue team looking strong though. Veldi has Kashyyykin and now a Baneblade on the way. Baneblade will take care of a Phobos 1v1, I believe. Yeah, there's still only 2,000 hit points on this thing. Redeemer though is having some trouble. Got to try and have your Phobos head on so that all the las cannons can fire. That was a misfire there. Maybe just went out of range. Some decent hits. Tank busters there. And Knob squad there. Phobos needs to back off. It's overextending. There's the Dirtscaster. Really wants to finish off the Redeemer. This is a big mistake though, I think. Terminators are there. They should be using their power fists. Looks like it's going to be warped out. Centzon knew what they were doing. Tried to get the kill. It's now very low for the coming fight. Blastmaster gets a good hit on those shooter boys. Didn't actually kill a model though. Plague Marine trying to do something about this Phobos. Sorcerer teleports in there. Smacks some stuff around. We have a Phobos on the way now for Exterminatus. Here comes the charge of the Knob squad. Lots of plasma and melter weaponry though to shoot them up. They are persuaded to leave. There's the Commissar's shield for the Lord General. Can they get the Phobos here? It's very low. One more shot from the Plague Marines, maybe the missile. There it is. And it is enough. Down goes the Phobos. And that all stemmed from Centzon chasing the Redeemer. Trying to get it down. Another Leman Russ, this time with the Executioner on it, like the first one had. Lag spike, says Centzontotochtin apparently. Where is the Baneblade? It's going west side. Blue team crawling across the map though, and they're looking very strong here. They've got to be confident. They've got a 2-to-1 cap. The VPs aren't that far apart either anymore. Commissar's switched to the Fist of Brockus. Doesn't get more DPS than the Claw, but does get the None Shall Fall. It costs 50 power though. Is that worth it to get the same damage but just for that ability? Maybe. In a big team fight, could be. But it's not like Seraf has a lot of infantry. Whole team doesn't really have that much infantry. Can the Baneblade push through? Hopefully for the Baneblade that Lascanna does with any friendly fire. Here's the Warboss of Exterminatus. Got those Terminators there too. Everything being buffed by the boss pole. Baneblade with 3,000 hit points. Lascanna is also getting shots in. So the Terminators are helping the Warboss. There's a Dark Flames, a bunker, a rocket run back there. Down goes the Warboss. Didn't last long for Exterminatus there. Centzon has another one on the field. The bunker, that hasn't been upgraded yet. Got some Stone Guard veterans. The Land Raider Redeemer is very low. Is there anything there to repair it? I don't think there is. Oh, maybe Exterminatus' Heretics could repair it. Baneblade in trouble. The double Plague Winds have been awesome. They keep throwing vehicles out. Terminator's getting very low. I think they've got the Baneblade though. They have. Super heavy vehicles just dropping like flies here. We'll see what the second Warboss is like. That's the third? The third Warboss. Second for Centzon. Another Leman Rusk Seraf. The other one is very low, but it's getting repairs. Double cap for the blue team. The Land Raider Redeemer is still around. Is that guy... Nope, he's not retreating back to it. He's going too far. Stone Guard need to run. They're going to just retreat back to the Land Raider though, most likely. Looks like they're not. Has not been set as a retreat point, maybe because it was too far forward there. Chaos Predator on the way for Centzontotochtin now. Stormtroopers of Veldi, maybe some anti-armor Stormtroopers to go after the Land Raider Redeemer. Got some plasma fellas or hotshot fellas would be good as well. Get some grenades in and stuff. Lord Commissar. Can he get a decap? There is a nuke. Ouch. From Exterminatus. It was a decent hit. Just as they were trying to get some momentum to get the VP back, they get hit with a nuke. What is this? Orks flooding the VP. Not going for a decap though, maybe the Warboss will. There he goes. Level 6 with heavy armor. Up over 2,000 hit points on that guy. All this stuff getting boss pole too. There's the decap. It's going to be a double. Red team really up against it here. Is this a Vanquisher? No, it's unupgraded Leman Russ. Still a really good tank though. Terminator is still not dropping a model. There's a Rocks. Everything trying to split. Doing a decent job at it, to be honest. But here comes a Knob Squad to take advantage of things being misplaced. The Leman Russes fall. We might see the Chaos Predator fall too. There's GG, says Seraf. Yeah, pretty much. Blue team dealt with enemy vehicles very efficiently in general here. And they kept trying to use them. I mean, your Imperial Guard, you're going to try and use your tanks, aren't you? The blue team mopped them up really well. Level 7 Sorcerer for Exterminatus. A lot of pressure on their side early on, but they recovered with a mean old army. And I think the only unit they lost was the Warboss and one of the CSM in at nuke. ShaFex, solid Warboss. Great usage of the tank busters. Knob Squad at the end doing their thing. Leomer with the level 7 Force Commander. Teleporting around, being a nuisance. The Redeemer held on to its life, its machine spirit. Sorcerer was level 8 for Centzontotochtin. Did a lot of work. Seraf's level 8 Commissar. Still not convinced this was a good choice. That's an expensive Fist of Brockus, and They already had a power claw. They didn't have a lot of infantry. And Veldi with a level 9 Lord General starting off very strongly. But just couldn't keep the momentum up. None of the guard could. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.